Welcome back. As we mentioned earlier in the show with David, the regular season wraps up this weekend in the Northern Sun. And if the Minnesota State Moorhead women's basketball team is able to close out the year with 2 more wins, they will clinch at least a share of a conference title for the 2nd consecutive season. Jody Norstedt caught up with head coach of the hottest team in the conference, the Dragons' own Karla Nelson.
Thanks, Kelly. Yes, Karla Nelson, kind enough to share some of her time with us. 15 wins in a row for this MSU Moorhead women's basketball team. You guys haven't lost since 10 days before Christmas. Do you remember what it feels like to lose?
Yeah, I actually do. And really what's amazing is that we've won 15 games, but it's been a hard work to get to that point. Some of those games actually have a feel of loss, but we actually pulled them out. So it's been a long time. It's a good feeling.
1 win shy of the school record going into this final weekend of the regular season. What would it mean to kind of get that as far as a win streak? And I know it's not probably the biggest thing in the world because there are conference championships, there are NCAA playoff games that you worry about. But to see this team achieve that success for a long time, what would that mean to you?
You know, I really haven't thought that much about it, just because we've been so focused on winning the next game and preparing for the weekend. But when you look back, it's a great feeling. There's no doubt. I mean, it's a body of work that, it's really unmatched. So it would be definitely gratifying, but we got to worry about Friday.
How impressed have you been with your team's growth from the start of this win streak, maybe even going back to that loss against Northern State 10 days before Christmas to what they've become now?
Well, really, the loss at Northern State is probably the first time where we started to play well. And, I felt like that game was a game that we probably should have won at Northern, and then Northern coming here and us pulling that game out in overtime, that's a game Northern should have won. But we started to play well, and we still had some ups and downs within that, or after that, or since that. But, I think when you look at our team, we've won in different ways. It hasn't just been a Drew Sanis team this year. It's been our bench. It's been our perimeters. It's been, maybe a free throw line, maybe hitting shots from the arc or in the paint. So it's really been kind of an interesting season.
I was going to ask you because to that point, over the last 7 games, you've had 5 different players lead you in scoring. That's just over those last 7 games. You have 4 players averaging double digits in scoring. When teams go to try to defend you, do you ever hear from coaches, man, you guys are tough to defend because just so many different players can hurt you?
No, nobody wants to talk to me right now. So, but on film and when we go back and scout ourselves and look at certain things, there's no doubt that it's nice to have different people step up and make shots or make plays, and it just ultimately in the long run it's going to make us tougher to beat. So we need to keep doing that.
Jackie Volkert, just a junior. Her average points per game is up 2 points from last year. She's leading you in scoring right now. What have you seen from her? Where's her been her biggest growth spot from last year to this year?
I would just say that her willingness to be aggressive, to take the big shots. And the other thing is I've talked to Jackie about is on those nights where you don't feel great, she still has found a way to be relevant. And whether that's making a pass, hitting a shot, getting to the free throw line, because let's face the fact, in an overall season, you're not going to feel great every single night. And she's done a good job of being relevant and making plays for our team. And I think that's the biggest thing. But you have to embrace that role. If you don't embrace that role, you're going to shy away from it, and things are not going to go your way.
Drew Sanis, safe to say you hit a home run in recruiting with her, or getting her out of Holly 4 or 5 years ago. Freshman year, she's just been a model of consistency. Freshman year, all NSIC. Second year, nice job for you. Third year, last year, she was the NSIC Player of the Year, and now she's top 10 in scoring, top 5 in rebounds. How valuable has she been to this program?
Well, I mean, Drew is a winner. She's a champion. She's won a lot of games since she's been here. That kind of tells you exactly what kind of player she is. And then off the court, I mean, Drew's a tremendous person. I mean, she's involved in a lot of things, just got a lot of balance. And the one thing I feel like for Drew this year has been a struggle, but it's been one of those years where she's actually relieved that other people have picked up the slack. So it's not just all about Drew Sanis. So Drew Sanis can be Drew Sanis, but it doesn't have to be so pressure packed all the time. Where last year was, if we won, it was through Drew, and this year she can just go out and have a little bit more fun, relax, and be herself, and that's actually been fun to watch.
And you have really a good group of seniors. Shannon Gallagher from Thompson, Cass Thorson, all area players. Cass Thorson from West Fargo, 63 three-pointers for her, a really good leader for this group. How valuable has that senior class been for the growth of this program? Because they've had a lot of success.
They've had a lot of success and won a lot of basketball games. They're all valuable in a different way. Cass is probably underrated defensively, but she knows other teams' plays, our scout for other teams better than probably their own team. And Shannon Gallagher just brings that energy level off the bench. But the most important thing, and I want to reiterate this, is that they're good people. It's not just about basketball. It is about being well-rounded, and they all are great ambassadors for MSU. So it's really been a privilege for me to coach these three.
It's been awesome to watch. St. Cloud State on Friday, Minnesota Duluth on Saturday to wrap up the regular season. You have a shot to win the NSIC crown again, lock up the #1 seed in the North. If you can pull off these 2 wins, it's a carrot out there dangling. Does that motivate the girls, even though that they've had so much success in the last 2 months?
Well, this is what you play for. So if you can't get up for this, then you probably don't deserve it. Yeah. So I think for this group, like I told them yesterday, it's there, go get it. Just go get it, and don't be afraid of losing. Just go play to win and see what happens. But I have a lot of confidence in these guys, they know how to win. They know how to win in all sorts of different situations. So we're going to have to play well, because I think St. Cloud and Duluth will come in giving us their best shot, and we're going to have to play well, and we'll see what happens. It's exciting.
Yeah. The Central Region rankings were released. You guys are third. You were the 3rd seed last year in the tournament. Northern State was the 8th. And this year, you look at the first Central Region rankings, there's 3 NSIC schools in the top 5 with Augustana and Northern State. That speaks a lot about the strength of schedule that you guys play in the Northern Sun.
Well, the Northern Sun is a great league, and the other thing is Wayne State's down at 10, yeah. So they certainly could move up into that top 8. I believe that the NSIC should have four teams in the regional tournament. It's a great league, very competitive, a lot of great coaches, and a lot of great players. So I think if we're in there, we need to do a better job of representing the NSIC than we did last year. We did not do a very good job. So myself as a coach, I need to step up and make sure we're ready.
Has that kind of been the motivator? What happened last year? You lose in the second round of the NSIC tournament, you get ousted in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Does that kind of stick in your memory? Do you use that to motivate the girls?
Well, I don't motivate them with that. I motivate myself with that. Yeah. I think players, they should just worry about playing the game. I'm not big in revenge or anything like that, but losing is a great motivator for a coach, and it certainly has motivated myself, my staff. But as far as these players, we have a lot of freshmen that play. They don't have any idea what the NCAA tournament and all this stuff is all about. So the most important thing is just how we prepare. And as long as we prepare well, I think we're going to give ourselves a chance. We have more balance, more well-rounded. So I look forward to seeing what we can do.
Thanks, Coach. I really appreciate the time.
Thanks, Jody.
It's MSU Moorhead women's basketball coach Karla Nelson, the reigning NSIC Coach of the Year. Back to you, Kelly.
All right, thanks so much, Jody. The Dragons host St. Cloud State tomorrow and Minnesota Duluth on Saturday. They beat both teams earlier this season. Next on the show, Elena Lanson joins me in studio for Water Cooler Talk. We'll chat all about the Summit League swimming and diving championships, which are going on right here now in Sioux Falls. So don't go anywhere.